The experiments you will see have been carefully done by professionals and should not be tried at home without parental guidance. Please follow the caution signs throughout this program.
Delighted to invite you to Creation Is, where we're learning about science and who our creator is. And I'm delighted to have Professor Roy with us here on set. And we're so delighted to have you today.
Well, it's great to be here.
And I'd like to introduce you to Hannah, Ethan, and we have Nathan and Amanda with us today.
Oh, hello, hello. How are you kids?
Good.
Well, good. You like science?
Yes.
Wow. Now, what do you like to do best about science?
Learn about different
things. What was it?
Make experiments.
Experiments.
Learn about different
Okay.
things.
Hey, we've got a great experiment today for you. What do you like best about science?
The fun of it.
The fun of it? Yeah. Science is fun, isn't it? Yeah, it really is fun. And what about you?
Finding things and learning about it.
You like learning things. Yeah, learning is important. In fact, you know what? We're going to talk about learning today because it's really important because we need to all learn. And what's your most favorite thing about science?
Finding out things that actually work.
Oh, finding out things that actually work. But you know what? You know, sometimes we learn by things that don't work. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Which is really cool. Huh. But you know what we're going to do? Today we're going to talk about memory. Did you bring your memory? Did you bring your memory? Where's your memory?
In your brain.
You left it in the car? What?
No, it's in your brain.
It's in your brain, that's right. Our brain is amazing, isn't it? It really, really is. But you know, I've got something in my pocket right here. What's that?
A phone.
It's a phone. Now, does a phone have memory?
Yes.
No. Yes.
Yes. I don't know.
It's got to have some kind of memory, right? You ever put phone numbers in a phone?
Yes.
Okay, so that's part of the memory of the phone, right? Yeah. But here's a question for you. And how many of you have a computer at home or at school? Okay. Well, have you ever run out of memory with a computer? You ever run out of memory? Does that ever happen to you?
Oh, yes. Especially on the phone.
Especially.
If you lose everything on your phone and you can't find everybody's phone numbers and you don't know them all by heart, oh, that's a big problem.
That's a big problem, isn't it? So what happens then if you have a computer or if you have a phone and it runs out of memory, what do? You charge it. Yeah, you're going to have to maybe trade it in for another phone that has more memory, right? Or if you have a computer, maybe sometimes you can get those memory chips, right, and put more memory in, right? Well, here's a question for you. But what happens with your brain, okay, because that's our memory, right, in our brain. What happens if we run out of memory in your brain? What happens then? In fact, has it ever happened?
No.
It's never happened?
It has. I sometimes forget things. Yeah, I do.
Well, you know, have you ever had to learn some things? Yeah, we all have to learn things, and sometimes you just can't learn anymore because you think that your brain is too full of stuff, right? But you know what usually happens when that happens? It means we're just too tired because our brain was designed by whom? God designed our brain, which is very interesting. Hey, you know, Hannah, I've got a head over here. Could you go over there and pick up our head and bring it over here?
Okay.
Because the head is really important, and she's going to bring our little brain over here. Right, there we go, and you can set it right here for me. Thank you very much. Cool. All right. Now, I want to introduce you to my friend right here, and this is Maria. You like Maria?
Hello, Maria.
Yeah, that's Maria. Now, Maria has a head, okay, and Maria is going to be our brain today, okay, our brain. Now, what I want you to do is hey, over there on our shelf, we got all kinds of science stuff over there, and we've got some white pieces of stuff. Could you go and get one of those white pieces of things and bring it on over to the table? Go ahead and get yours. Go ahead, get one of those white sticks. Here we go. There you go. Here, let me help you. Here, you can have one. All right, and there's one for you, and there's one for you. So we've got these white sticks, okay? Now, what we want to do is we want you to write something down, okay? So what are we going to have them write down?
I think we need to write something that's really good. We can talk about things that we put in our mind that's not so good, right? Sometimes when we watch TV and we find something's not good, I hope you don't sit there and just watch the TV, right? And say, oh, this is weird and this is bad. But we want to put what's in our minds, what is good, right? So let's write something that's good. Can you think of something, Hannah, that you want to write that is good? That we want to put
story?
A good story. Let's write it down.
Right, good stories are good.
How about you? Do you know what you want to write? Ethan?
A good music.
Good music.
Good music. I love good
now,
music.
Professor Roy, I think you have a marker in your pocket. Would you share it with the other group there?
I do.
Hey,
I have a marker.
There you go, Nathan. Do you know what you're going to write?
Good comics.
Good comics. Okay. How about you, Amanda?
Good comics.
Good friends. I like that. So yes, it's important to put what is in our minds that is really good for us, right? And sometimes you have to feed what is good, because in the Bible it talks about that what we read and what we do and how much time we spend, because it's easy to spend a lot of time on TV, right? Do you like to spend time on TV?
Yes.
And you're not the only one, but sometimes it's better to find a good story or a good book. Okay, go ahead.
So I like good stories. I like good books. But you know what? You know, I think.
Mr. Roy, how do
I'm
you
sorry.
spell comics?
Write
Comics.
it nice and book. Good comics.
How do you spell comics?
Oh, C-O-M-I-C-S.
So, you know, good books are fun, aren't they? They're fun to read. But, you know, I think that probably what we need to do is we need to decide which are the best books to read, right? Yeah, I think we ought to be reading the best books and not just the good books, but we need to read the best books, right? The best things, because we need to put what's best in our mind, don't we? I think we should. Okay, so let's see what we got over here. Amanda, you've got yours? Okay, bring your stick
Hannah,
over here.
go ahead.
Bring your stick, come on out right over here. Oh, you know what? You know what we're going to need? I think we're going to need something to protect our eyes today, because I've got something that we don't want to get in our eyes. So go ahead and get your safety glasses over there. Now, we use safety glasses when we're working with chemicals, right? We don't want to get that chemical splash in our eyes. Sometimes if we're working with glass, we don't want things to break. Or maybe something that's just really sharp, we don't want to poke our eyes, right? Or if we're using fire, we're not going to use fire today, but we wear safety glasses for all of those purposes, right? And those glasses are for yours, for you to keep, and that'll be kind of cool, won't it? Okay, so Hannah, bring your stick over here. What I want you to do is this. I want you to take this in your hand like this, and you wrote good stories. What I want you to do is I want you to put it right down in her head, just kind of slow. Just go ahead and put it right in, maybe with two hands. There you go. Easy, easy. There you go. Because it takes time to put all of these things. You know, it takes time to read, doesn't it? It really does.
Takes time to read books.
Takes time
Even
to read.
if you're a fast reader.
There you go.
Takes time.
Look
Wait
at
a
all
minute,
of that.
Wait a minute. What's going on?
All of those. All of those
Whoa,
good things to read. And it's going. It's all going in here. Is it coming out the bottom? No, it's not.
Oh my God, that's so neat.
Not coming out the bottom either.
It's wow.
Whoa.
Excellent. Hey, thank you for putting those good books in there. And we've got another one over here. Come on over here.
Read yours
Nathan,
again.
and what did you have? What did you write?
Good music.
Good what?
Good music.
Show us,
Oh,
show
I
us, show
love
us.
music. Okay, so there we go.
Good music. Yep, show us.
There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and put yours in there, okay? There you go. Just gently push it right in here. You know, there's all different kinds of music, isn't there? You know, I love music. You like music? You know what music is? You know, sometimes music can be very, very restful, can it? Mm-hmm. You know, hey, can you think of a king that was, it's in the Bible, and he called somebody to play some music for him, because when he would get really upset and agitated, he would call somebody to play on his what?
Heart.
Who was that?
David.
It was David that he called. And who was the king? You remember?
King Solomon.
It was King Saul. How cool, you know, and music can do that for our brains, can it? And for our whole body. That is very interesting. Hey, what did you write?
Good comics.
Okay, good comics. Okay, so why don't you go ahead and put that in here, right? There you go.
I've seen a Bible that was written in comics.
Oh, that's right.
I have, and some of the kids, when they are witnessing with other friends that are non-Christian, sometimes that's a good way to read.
That is a good way.
I
And it's
haven't
very
even thought of
attractive,
it.
isn't it?
It is.
It's very attractive. And you see, slow down, slow it down, putting in all
Wow,
that
that's
in
just
there.
so
Interesting,
neat.
isn't it? Wow. And you know, music is really important. And you know, and good books are important, aren't they? But you know, I think we ought to be, what, reading the best books, right? And listening to the best music, because it can really be good for our bodies and our mind. And we've got one more over here. Hey, thank you for doing that. And what did you put
what's
down?
the best book?
Good friend.
Who has the, what's the name
Well,
of the best
bring
book?
your friends over here.
The Bible, the Bible.
She wrote down Good Friends.
All right.
Okay.
Good
All right.
Friends.
So go ahead and let's see if we can put our good friends in there. Okay, there you go. We're going to just put it, yeah, just real nice and easy. Look at that. You know, friends are important. Now let me ask you a friend. Do you have a good friend?
Yes.
Yeah, you know, friends are important, aren't they? And you know, when God knew that we needed friends, and you know, who is our best friend? Or who should be our best friend?
God.
You know, God should be our best friend. Isn't that right? That's right. You know, sometimes God is even closer to us, or should be closer to us than our best earthly friend, right? You know, God knows us better than anybody else. Did you know that? How cool is that? And now, you know, can you count how many friends you have on your hands? You know, some people can and some people can't. But you know what's important? What's important is that you and I have one very best friend, and that's always God, isn't it? Well, look at that. Now, how can all of those fit in that head?
I don't know.
So all the things that you, what did you write on yours?
Good book.
Good books, okay? All of the good books, the best books are in your brain right now. Did you know that? It's in your brain. And you never forget what your brain knows, which is interesting. Sometimes you just can't remember what is in your head, but it's in your brain. What did you write down?
Good music.
Good music. All that music that you and I have been listening to is in there someplace, right? That's right. So let's just listen to the best music, and that'll help us out. And you wrote?
Good comics.
Good comics, okay? And we even have Bibles that are in the comic format, okay, which is very, very appealing to us. And that is all in our brain. And you wrote?
Friends.
The friends. And all of our friends and all of our memories are in our brain. You know, some people think that we're going to run out of memory. Is that ever going to happen?
No.
No, you know, because when God created our brain, He created them. When Jesus created our brain, He created them to do what? To never run out of memory. We can never run out of memory. In fact, scientists tell us today that we only use about 1/10, about 10% of our mind. Isn't that interesting? Only 10%. And there was a very, very interesting guy that lived a long time ago, and his name was Albert Einstein. There you go. And he said this. He said that knowledge takes up no space. Isn't that interesting? Knowledge takes up no space. All of that knowledge, all of the things that are in our brain, it doesn't take up any space because God designed our brain that way. Isn't that interesting?
Very interesting.
Our brain will last forever and ever. So let's just put the very best things in our brain. What do you think? Well, what do you think?
Always learning. We always want to learn, don't we?
Yes.
I think that's something special. Ethan, can you grab the Bible on the shelf for me? There's a blue Bible on the shelf. And let's look up Romans 12 real quick. Let's see, Romans 12, verse 2. And it says right here, can you help me read it?
And do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God.
Yes, we want to do the will of God. God wants us to continually learn. Don't you agree? Don't we want to put in our mind and continually learn about Jesus? I'm so thankful that we can learn more about God. We can see God's creation all around us because creation is science.